As Canada reels from the tragic news of unmarked and mass graves at residential schools run by the Catholic Church, several churches have been burnt to the ground. So what are the unmarked and mass graves about? Recently in Saskatchewan, at least 751 unmarked graves were found on the site of Maryville Indian Residential School, which was run by the Catholic Church. Less than a month before, the remains of as many as 215 children were also found in unmarked graves at the site of a former Catholic Church-run residential school in Kamloops, BC. The Kamloops discovery led to a national self-reflection of Canada's residential schools' legacy and renewed calls to search the grounds of all former residential schools across North America. Why are churches being burned down? Since the discovery of the mass graves, at least 4 churches have been burnt to the ground. Currently, nobody knows who started the fires or why. However, given the current anger against the Catholic Church for its role in Indigenous genocide and its involvement in the residential school horrors, many are drawing conclusions that the two events are connected. 2 Catholic churches, St. Anne's Church and the Chappaqua Church, were completely burnt down over the weekend, began within an hour of each other in British Columbia. Last Monday, 2 other Catholic churches in the province were also burnt down on National Indigenous Peoples Day. Police said both buildings were completely destroyed and they were treating the fires as suspicious. Community response to church burning. The burning of churches has also increased the risk of wildfires, especially given BC's ongoing heatwave, which is placing temperatures at about 40 Celsius. In at least one instance at the Chappaqua Church burning, the fire spread to nearby brush, but luckily BC wildfire crews were able to attend to it before it spread. However, given the ongoing heatwave crisis, further church burnings would endanger the community at large if the fires rage out of control. So who did it? The fires are still under investigation and no suspects have been identified. Chief Keith Crow of the Lower Similkameen Indian Band said, "There's got to be something more to it. It's not just coincidence." He also said that the community was overall angry about the fires. While the Catholic Church has refused to issue an apology for the residential schools' unmarked graves and years of severe abuse, local churches serve as community centers. They are usually used as points for people to meet, organize, and socialize, making it difficult for communities to break away from the church. Grand Chief Stuart Phillip, president of the Union of BC Indian Chiefs, previously told a Canadian media outlet that there are mixed emotions about the Catholic Church among Penticton Indian Band members. Phillip added that some members of the community have an intense hatred for the Catholic Church in regard to the residential school experience. RCMP said they're treating Saturday's fires as suspicious and investigating any possible links to the Okanagan Church fires. The investigations into the previous fires and these 2 new fires are ongoing with no arrests or charges. How is the community reacting? Several First Nations communities have taken part in ongoing memorial events for the residential school child victims, including a Saturday convoy traveling to Kamloops organized by the Syilx Okanagan Nation. It included a caravan of leaders, Indian residential school survivors, families and elders that made the journey from Penticton to Kamloops. The caravan made several stops along the way to gather more nation members before arriving in the early afternoon at the site of the former Kamloops Indian Residential School, where the remains of 215 children were found in late May. All the nations have been taking turns going to Kamloops to do ceremony. The purpose is to bring our nations together to stand as one.